Have you ever felt your legs trembling, just trying to rise from a chair? Or found yourself gripping the handrail tightly, just to climb a few steps? I know that feeling, and I want to tell you, this is not the end of your story. In this video, I'm Dr. Mark Ellis, and I'm going to show you how to turn your morning cup of coffee into a super fuel that helps rebuild your muscles, along with 4 simple exercises you can do right at home. If you want to keep your legs strong, steady, and independent, without relying on anyone else, stay with me. Just a few minutes today could change the path of your tomorrow. You might be thinking, what could a simple cup of coffee really do? But I want you to believe this. Behind that familiar morning coffee lies a scientific secret, a secret that has already helped hundreds of my patients regain strength in their legs. And before I share the exact recipe with you, there's something even more important we need to talk about. Why your legs begin to weaken so quickly after 60, and why protecting them matters now more than ever. Because once you understand the root of the problem, every solution that follows will suddenly make perfect sense. My friend, have you ever felt your legs suddenly give out on you, like they just aren't as steady as they used to be? Just a few steps up the stairs, and your heart races, your breath shortens, and sometimes you cling to the handrail just to make it to the top. I've seen this so many times in my patients. They often look at me with a mix of worry and frustration and ask, "Doctor, why is it so hard for me to simply get up from a chair?" The truth is, this isn't just their story. It's the story of almost all of us after 60. Our bodies begin to lose muscle mass, what medicine calls sarcopenia, but it doesn't stop there. When the muscles weaken, the bones also grow more fragile, and when both decline together, the risk of falling, breaking a bone, and losing independence skyrockets. That's why I always remind my patients, protecting your legs means protecting your freedom. Imagine this. A man in his 70s, who used to climb the stairs every day without a second thought, now hesitates in front of just 5 small steps inside his own home. His legs tremble, he pauses, and in that moment he feels deeply that he is no longer the man he once was. I've witnessed that scene many times, and it is both heartbreaking and a wake-up call. What surprises most people is that the solution isn't about lifting heavy weights or spending hours in the gym. No, I always emphasize this, just 15 minutes, 3 times a week, with a few simple exercises in your living room, chair squats, heel-to-toe walking, seated leg extensions. That's enough to activate your leg muscles, and those very muscles are what allow you to sit, to stand, to keep your balance, and most importantly, to walk with confidence without relying on anyone else. But exercise alone isn't enough. Here's the truth that most people don't hear. After 60, our bodies become less responsive to protein. That means even if you eat plenty of meat or fish, your muscles don't rebuild as easily as they once did in your 30s or 40s. That's why I often recommend collagen peptides, or leucine, found in whey protein. These are proteins your body can absorb quickly, almost like flipping the switch that tells your muscles to grow, instead of letting that signal fade away. One of my patients, Margaret from Texas, gave it a try. For years, she had toast and peanut butter for breakfast. After my suggestion, she added 1 scoop of collagen peptides to her morning coffee. Just 6 weeks later, she came back to me and said, "Doctor, I can climb all the stairs in my house without stopping to catch my breath." She smiled, and in her eyes I saw a spark of confidence I hadn't seen in her for years. Do you see what I mean? Sometimes just one small change, like adding collagen to your morning coffee, can make a remarkable difference. And I want you to remember this. Coffee isn't just a routine. It can be a tool for rebuilding your strength. But collagen is only one piece of the puzzle. Your body needs more to function like the incredible machine it truly is. Have you ever thought about banana peels? The part most of us throw away every single day. Inside the peel lies potassium and magnesium in much higher amounts than the fruit itself. Potassium keeps your muscles contracting strongly. Magnesium helps them relax, recover, and even prevents those awful nighttime cramps. I remember Robert, a man in his 70s from Canada, telling me, "Doctor, I tried banana peel powder just like you said, and after 1 month my nighttime cramps disappeared completely. Now I can get up from the couch in the morning without struggling. But there's one thing I always remind people: hydration. If your body is short on water, those minerals can't do their job properly. That's why I always recommend drinking a glass of water alongside your super coffee. Think of them as the perfect pair, working together to keep your muscles and nervous system running smoothly. And now you might be wondering, Doctor, is there anything else I'm missing? Yes, and it's something often overlooked: deep sleep. Have you noticed how after a sleepless night your whole body feels weaker? That's because nighttime is when your body switches on its repair and rebuilding process. Without deep sleep, you lose out on the best chance to restore your strength. This is where tart cherry extract comes in. It doesn't just fight inflammation and protect your muscles from daily wear and tear. It also contains natural melatonin, helping you drift into deeper, more restorative sleep. Linda, one of my patients from Arizona, told me that after just 3 weeks of adding tart cherry extract to her coffee, she could garden for longer without feeling sore the next day. But what she was most grateful for was this: Doctor, I'm finally sleeping better than I have in years. I wake up with fresh energy like I've turned back the clock 10 years. So here's what I want you to remember. Your body needs 3 key pieces: collagen peptides to build, banana peel minerals to function, and tart cherry extract to recover. When you bring them together in a single morning coffee, you're giving your body the chance to regain its strength and hold onto its independence. But I don't want you to just nod and agree. I want you to try it. Pay attention. Ask yourself, did I get up from my chair more easily today than yesterday? Did the stairs feel less intimidating? Did those nighttime cramps finally ease up? These little questions are your body's way of whispering, I'm healing, I'm growing stronger again. And finally, I want to stress this truth: muscles aren't just about strength, they are about freedom. They are about independence. And most of all, they are about trust in yourself. I've seen the look in my patients' eyes when they rediscover strong legs, that look of joy, of confidence, of knowing they can still walk tall on their own path. And my friend, I believe you can feel that too. My friend, when we talk about muscle strength after 60, it's hard to separate the body from the mind. Because sometimes weak legs aren't just about the muscles, they're about the fear that lives inside our thoughts. I once spoke with a patient, Helen, 68, from California. After slipping in her bathroom, she became so afraid of falling again that she stopped walking quickly altogether. The wound had healed, but in her mind the fear was still there. What if it happens again? And that fear made her walk slower, move less, and that only weakened her legs even more. That's the vicious cycle I want you to break. Less movement leads to weaker muscles lead to more falls, and more falls shrink our confidence and our spirit. The way out is not just nutrition. It's the courage to begin again with small, simple steps. I often tell my patients, don't think you have to train like an athlete. Just stand up and sit down with the support of a sturdy chair. Take a few heel-to-toe steps across the room. Extend your legs while reading the morning paper. Each small movement is a message to your body: I still care about you. One morning at the clinic, I met John, a retired Marine in his 70s. Half joking, half serious, he told me, Doc, I used to run miles every day, and now I get tired just walking to my garden. I encouraged him to start with 5 chair squats a day. He laughed. 5, that's nothing. I'll double it just to show you. But a week later he came back, smiling sheepishly. Doctor, even 5 squats made my legs sore, like I was back at the gym after decades. And yet the best part came a month later. He proudly told me he could now do 15 squats without stopping. I feel like I've regained a piece of my youth, he said, and I knew it wasn't just his body that was changing. It was his mindset. It reminded me that true health doesn't come from dramatic revolutions. It comes from small habits repeated over and over, like adding collagen peptides to your morning coffee, like using the banana peel most of us throw away, turning it into minerals that strengthen your muscles, like adding a touch of tart cherry extract, to help your body recover and sleep deeply. These small pieces, when combined, create something powerful. Of course, many people hesitate when they hear about changing their diet or exercise. They say, "I'm too old to start, too weak to exercise, too late to improve." And I always ask them, if not now, then when? And if you do nothing, will things ever get better on their own? The answer is always clear. It's never too late to take one small step. Picture this. One morning you make your super coffee with collagen, banana peel powder, and tart cherry extract. You take a sip, then try a few gentle chair squats. Maybe the first day you can only do 3, and your legs tremble. But trust me, your body remembers the effort, and little by little your muscles will respond. In a few weeks you'll notice it's easier to stand up, and climbing stairs doesn't leave you breathless anymore. And then one day, you'll walk into your garden, bend down to tend your flowers, and stand up again without holding on to anything. That moment will fill you with pride, because in that moment, you're not just defeating sarcopenia. You're defeating the fear of aging, the fear of losing independence. I often encourage people to write down their journey, record how many squats you did today, how many heel-to-toe steps you walked, how many nights you slept without cramps. Those small numbers are the clearest proof that you're moving in the right direction. And here's something I've seen with my own eyes: men and women in their 70s, even their 80s, walking with strength and confidence again, all because they chose to begin with the smallest of steps. And I believe you can too. My friend, maybe right now you're asking yourself, does any of this really work for me? I'm already past 70. Is my body even capable of recovering anymore? I understand that doubt. So many of my patients have asked me the very same thing, and I always remind them. The human body, even after 6, 7, 8 decades, still carries within it an incredible ability to heal, to rebuild, and to grow strong again, if we simply give it the right conditions. I think of Dorothy, 81 years old, from Arizona. She came to me with trembling legs, leaning on a cane every time she went shopping. She sighed and said, "Doctor, it's too late for me to exercise now." But we started very small, just a few leg extensions while sitting on her sofa. Alongside that, I suggested she add collagen peptides to her morning coffee, plus a little tart cherry extract to help her sleep better. 6 weeks later, Dorothy came back with the brightest smile. "Doctor, I can walk around my backyard now and I don't even need the cane." She didn't become an athlete, but she regained something far more precious: the freedom to move confidently in her own home. Do you see? Change doesn't happen overnight. It happens little by little, like a seed watered each day. Today, it's 1 scoop of collagen. Tomorrow, it's a few heel-to-toe steps. The next day, deeper sleep thanks to tart cherry extract. And then one morning, you wake up and realize you no longer suffer those painful nighttime cramps. A week later, you notice your steps feel steadier in the garden. A month later, you climb the stairs with confidence instead of fear. I'll never forget one of my patients, Larry, a former construction engineer in his 70s. He confessed, "Doctor, I used to command entire work sites, and now I need my son to help me to the front yard. It's embarrassing." I gave him a simple exercise, wall push-offs, just 10 a day. He chuckled, saying it was far too easy. But 2 weeks later, he returned with a new look in his eyes. "Doctor, I feel more stable when I walk. My knee doesn't feel so shaky anymore." A simple move, repeated with patience, had helped him reclaim the feeling of being in charge of his own legs again. What I want you to understand is this: we often underestimate the power of small habits. A cup of super coffee each morning, a few chair squats, a few heel-to-toe steps. They may sound too simple, but simplicity is the key. Because when you keep showing up day after day, you're laying down a strong foundation to fight sarcopenia and to preserve both your strength and your independence. Have you noticed that when our legs grow weak, our spirit tends to shrink as well? One elderly woman once told me, "I don't even want to go to the park anymore because I'm afraid of falling in front of others." But just 2 months after training and changing her nutrition, she returned to me beaming, "Doctor, I'm walking with my old friends again. We even had ice cream by the lake, just like when we were young." That wasn't just a recovery of her body. It was a recovery of memory, of joy, of life itself. So I want you to reflect on this. Strength isn't only in the muscles. It's in every moment you dare to walk forward, to try again, to believe that your body still has more to give. And every time you lift that morning cup of coffee, I want you to see it not just as a drink, but as a gentle reminder you still have the chance to rebuild yourself. Ask yourself, if I start today, where could I be a year from now? Picture yourself walking faster, keeping up with your grandchild in the park. Imagine climbing the stairs in your home without stopping to catch your breath. Imagine the joy when your family looks at you with pride and says, "Grandma, Grandpa, you're still so strong." Those moments can be real if you're willing to begin today. My friend, I want you to pause with me and reflect on one more important piece of the puzzle. When we talk about leg strength, it's not only about the muscles, it's also about the connection between your brain and your body. Sometimes your muscles are still there, but the signals from your brain don't travel as clearly or as quickly as they once did. That's why after 60, many people feel their steps becoming slower, unsteady, or more prone to stumbling. I often explain it this way. Your body is like a symphony orchestra. The muscles are the instruments, but your brain and nervous system are the conductor. Even if the musicians are skilled, if the conductor loses focus, the music will fall out of rhythm. That's why we need exercises that don't just train the muscles, but also strengthen the brain-muscle connection. The heel-to-toe walk is a perfect example. You place one heel directly in front of the opposite toes, step by step, as if you were walking on a tightrope. At first, you might feel shaky, maybe even lose your balance, but with each step, your brain learns to adjust, the signals get sharper, and your body begins to move with more coordination. One of my patients, Susan, 72, used to avoid the grocery store. She was terrified of crowded aisles. But after 2 months of practicing heel-to-toe walking, she told me, "Doctor, I can walk through the crowd without fear now. I feel like I've regained the confidence I lost years ago." And that confidence, I believe, is more valuable than any prescription, because when you trust your own steps, you're willing to go out more, to enjoy life again instead of locking yourself away in fear. But you know, there's another quiet factor that plays a huge role in strong legs. Deep sleep. Muscles don't grow during exercise, they grow during rest. In those hours of deep sleep, your body repairs fibers, rebuilds tissue, and heals tiny micro-damages. Miss out on deep sleep, and you miss out on your best chance to regain strength. That's why I often recommend tart cherry extract in a cup of soup or coffee. A full night's rest doesn't just refresh your mind. It's one of the secrets to keeping your legs strong and resilient. One afternoon, I received a handwritten letter from Linda, a patient in Texas. She wrote, "Dr. Ellis, thanks to your advice, I'm finally sleeping deeply again after so many years. I no longer wake up at 2 a.m. with leg cramps. In the morning, I step into my garden to water the flowers, and I feel like I've grown young again." I kept that letter because it reminded me that sometimes the changes we make aren't just medical. They are about life, about joy, about the simple happiness we all deserve. And I want you to remember this. Your body never stops learning. Every time you do a chair squat, every time you stretch your legs before bed, every time you drink water with your super coffee, your body is writing a new score, note by note, until it becomes a stronger, more harmonious song. People often ask me, "Doctor, how long before I see results?" And I usually answer with another question. How many years did it take for your muscles to weaken? So would you be willing to spend just a few weeks, a few months to regain them? The truth is, most of my patients feel noticeable changes within 4 to 6 weeks. Standing up more easily, climbing stairs without stopping, walking longer distances without fatigue. But the bigger change is this. They begin to feel like they are in control of their lives again. And that is the real turning point. So picture this. One morning you hold a warm cup of coffee in your hands. You add collagen peptides, a little banana peel powder, a splash of tart cherry extract. You drink it, step outside, take a deep breath of fresh air, and try a few gentle squats as the morning sun spills across your yard. In that moment you realize you still have plenty of strength to live a full, energetic life. Health, after all, isn't just numbers on a lab report. It's the ability to lift your grandchild into your arms, to take a walk with your spouse, to sit down and rise again without needing anyone's help. And I believe, with small, steady steps, you can absolutely hold onto that gift. My friend, if you followed me this far, maybe a question is echoing in your heart. Can I really do this? Can I truly walk strong again? And I want you to know the answer is always yes. I've walked alongside hundreds of patients in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. Each one came to me carrying their own fear, the fear of falling, the fear of losing independence, the fear of becoming a burden on their family. But over time, they discovered something powerful. The body has far more ability to recover than we often give it credit for. One scoop of collagen peptides in your morning coffee, a little banana peel powder rich in minerals, a splash of tart cherry extract for deep sleep. These aren't miracles. They are natural science working quietly on your side. And then when those small habits meet simple movements, sitting and standing with the help of a chair, pressing gently against a wall to strengthen your legs, walking heel to toe to train your balance, or just extending your legs while watching TV. Together they build a foundation not only to fight sarcopenia, but to rebuild your trust in yourself. I'll never forget the day Larry walked back into my clinic after weeks of practice. For the first time in years, he didn't need his son to hold his arm. He smiled wide and said, "Doctor, I can walk on my own again, on my own legs." That moment touched me deeply. It reminded me that true health is the greatest gift of freedom. And you too can have that. You can wake up one morning, make your own cup of soup or coffee, and begin your day with a few simple movements. You can feel your body shifting little by little, not loud, not rushed, but steady and sure, until one day you realize you no longer tremble when you stand up. You no longer tire halfway up the stairs, and you no longer fear walking in a crowded place. What I want to give you today is not just a recipe for coffee or a list of exercises. I want you to believe, at any age, you still have the power to choose a stronger, more independent life. And that journey begins with the smallest steps you take today. So ask yourself, tomorrow, where will you begin? Will you add a scoop of collagen to your morning coffee? Will you try a few chair squats in your living room, or simply step outside? Take a deep breath and remind yourself that your body still has strength to give. I hope you will begin, because you deserve to live with steady legs, a confident spirit, and a heart full of joy. Thank you for walking this journey with me. If today's message spoke to you, share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you'll try first. And don't forget to subscribe to Natural Life Shift Hub so we can meet again each week, discovering simple yet powerful ways to live healthy, live fully, and live free even after 60. And always remember this: your strength has never left you. It's only waiting for you to call it back and awaken it. Your body has never abandoned you. It's simply waiting for the right conditions to heal and grow stronger again. So start today with one scoop of collagen, a little banana peel powder, a splash of tart cherry extract, and a few simple exercises. And don't forget, subscribe to Natural Life Shift Hub so you won't miss the natural health secrets that can keep you stronger, more independent, and happier every single day.